Alright, what's up everybody? It's been a while. It's definitely been a while since I showed the MT-07 on the channel, but I figured I'd just do a quick update because since last year we've done quite a bit of work to it. You'll have to bear with me. So this fractured my wrist a couple weeks ago. I think I'm like 1 week into a 6-week cast and leaving to go to the Dragon in about 10 days. So I can fit the cast under this Alpine hoodie. It has armor in the elbows and shoulders, but I can't fit it under my leathers, and I'd rather have leathers than a cast, so I'm still going to the Dragon. Still have full use of my hand. The cast is more or less for support, so it's not broken. There's just a small fracture right here in this bone that sticks out. So I think what we're gonna end up doing is probably I'm gonna wait another 10 days, and then we're probably gonna end up cutting it off because I can ride with it. There's just certain things that hurt. So, and if you got good form and good technique, you shouldn't really be putting weight on your wrists anyways while you're riding. So I'm going to chance it, but I'm also going to be very careful. So as you can see, this bike, now we've got the Horde Power intake. We have the little Chinesium exhaust, but it does work pretty well. Still rocking the Road 5s, even though I hate them with a passion. We've got the full Womatech kit with the Evo slider all the way around. Picked up this cheap windscreen, and I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of windscreens on naked bikes. They tend to just push the air up off your chest and into your helmet and give you buffeting. But I am rocking this little cheap windscreen, and it's mostly just to protect my phone. Still got the OEM quick shifter, and then the big thing was, I already mentioned it, but the big thing was the Horde Power intake, and it's now got the two-wheel Dynaworks flash on it. So those things all combined made a, let's just say, massive difference with this bike. I think these things stock make somewhere around like 55-ish, maybe a little over 55 to the wheel. Horde or two-wheel Dynaworks, I think, with this setup advertises like 77 now, so just close to a 20 horsepower increase, and you can definitely feel it. The biggest differences are, instead of with the stock bike, it tended to, say around like 6,500, it just like falls on its face. With the intake and the flash, it pulls a lot harder all the way to redline. I'm just out running some errands. I had to pick up a couple things for the girlfriend, but we'll run this thing down the road real quick and we'll open it up real quick. We had the clutch recall. We had that done. I'm not convinced that they did it right, because the bike, if I'm trying to move it in the garage while in gear with the clutch pulled in, the rear tire is still locked up. It won't roll. I don't know if that's just something with this bike, or if it's something that all MT-07s do. None of my other bikes do that. It doesn't sound normal to me. But it is much improved. I don't notice it, grabbing, pulling while it's in gear like at a stoplight. Sometimes it'll still bog, like if I put it in gear. Let's see, try putting it in gear right now. No. I do notice sometimes if I try to start it while in gear, the RPMs still kind of bog, and it feels like it's trying to lurch forward. So I don't know. I'm gonna give it a couple hundred miles and see if it either loosens up or starts acting right. If not, I have a feeling that the dealership did it correctly, but they might not have soaked the clutch plates for 24 hours like they're supposed to. much improved. And I've had a lot of people ask me the quick shifter. It's basically a Generation 1 quick shifter. It's not bidirectional or omnidirectional, meaning it only works for upshifts. So up until 2024, these were cable driven throttle bodies. You really have to have electronic throttle bodies to have auto blippers, so rev matching downshifts. But for this bike, you know, quick shifter, is it necessary? No. Is it still fun? Hell yes. So I enjoy it, but by no means is it a necessary upgrade. A little bit of a pet peeve on this bike for me: first gear, it's useless. I think the only time I ever use it is in a parking lot, or maybe doing a really tight, slow speed U-turn. Other than that, I'm starting off in second. I don't know if other people find that, but to me, first gear is pointless. But yeah, definitely an improvement in power. One other thing, I got this far into it and even forgot to mention it. We're now rocking the Insta Ace Pro 2. I'd actually tried to make this video twice, but the mic adapter that I had that goes in between the mic and the camera, it's just a separate cable, and it basically adapts it from TRS to TRRS, and the mic adapter, I guess, I have quit working, so I was only getting mono audio, and I could have adjusted that on my end in the editor, but I got a new Rode mic adapter and it should be working now. So I'm just kind of putting along to let the cars in front of us get a little further, and we'll open this thing up. It will power wheelie now if you don't lean forward. That's new, it definitely didn't do that before. 0 to 60, or 60 to 100, that's also, it probably, I'm freaking rambling, but I would say honestly that it, from 0 to 100, I would say it's anywhere from like 6 to 8 seconds faster. It's hard to describe, but it's a massive improvement. All right, let's go. Oh yeah. Kind of a gloomy day out. Feels good though. Low 70s. Super comfortable riding weather. A little windy. It's supposed to storm here in a little while. It's also another reason I wanted to check out this camera, because this, with the Insta360 X3 that I have, would be very dark. So I'm interested to see what the lighting looks like. I did test it the other day. I went out at dusk on the Grom, which is another thing I have to make an update on. We bought a Grom. Fun. So I probably won't make another video in between now and when we leave to the Grom. I'm gonna see how my wrist feels. We may end up on this bike up there. I haven't decided yet. Nothing's really new with the MT-10. The only thing that I've changed is I swapped to Pirelli Rosso Corsas. I think at the end of last season I needed a rear tire, so I had been rocking the S22 rear with the RS11 front, and I really enjoyed that, but I still had an S22 front. So what I ended up doing was I put an S22 front on it, and then I've got for relatively cheap, I got a Rosso 4 rear. And I really like the Rosso 4 rear over the S22, and the reason being is the S22 is a very flat tire, and once you get to a certain point, the bike doesn't want to lean anymore, even though it's still got plenty of room to lean. And I was pretty much using the entire tire, so we swapped to the Rosso 4 rear, and at the same lean angle I still had like this much of the side of the tire left, and the bike just wanted to, you know, lean more naturally. So really enjoyed the Rosso 4, really had no issues out of it. But what I did do was, basically the next evolution, I went to the Rosso 4, or the Rosso Corsa, which is basically the same version of the tire, but it's a slicker version. It doesn't have all the rain channeling in it. So I'm excited to try those out. They're still in the garage. I haven't even got them mounted. I still have an S22 front tire that's brand new in the box. So I'm really not a fan of these Road 5s. Probably going to put the S22 on here, and then just get pick up a rear to go with it to match it. I haven't tried a 180 55 before, so I don't know if that tire still has that kind of flat profile that the 190 55 has. I imagine it probably does. I don't know. Maybe we'll put the S22 front on this, and then maybe pick up a Rosso 4 rear. I don't have very many plans for this bike. I'm pretty happy with the way it is. Just gonna keep continuing to ride it. I might do small things like turn signals. I've thought about, I'm probably going to do just a basic STX 46 rear shock for this. I think they were maybe like $500-600, and I haven't decided. The front forks, when I first bought this bike, I was like, oh, these aren't that bad. But once I got this thing up in the mountains and I really started to push pace with it, they're nowhere near adequate enough. You're at pace and you're hitting the brakes, and since there's no dampening, the forks are just super bouncy. Like, the bike just nosedives every time you hit the brakes. So you got to be really, really smooth with your throttle inputs and your brake inputs. The rear shock is very bouncy. So I think if I'm going to keep this bike long term, it's definitely going to get probably Öhlins cartridges and maybe just a basic STX 46 rear shock. The suspension has been my really only complaint or gripes with this thing. Really enjoy the Woodcraft clip-ons on the MT-10, so I don't know if might possibly look at doing that on this as well. It's about the only thing I can't do on this bike right now is wheelies. I'm not even gonna try it. I haven't done them in a couple of weeks, and I could already see myself being hesitant and either lifting it up too quickly and slamming it down, or not getting it up high enough. But yeah, just want to shoot this quick update video real quick on this bike. check out this new camera and give you guys an update. And hopefully I'll have some footage for you guys here in a couple weeks when we go to the Dragon.